Hi, it's Mrs. LP here. Welcome to your first flip video about debating. So this is a lesson that most of you guys have had before, but after watching the mock debates, we decided that you could use a bit more practice in this area. So today we are learning to effectively rebut an argument. A debate is a battle. You need to build your fortress and you need to knock the enemy's one down. During the mock debates, you guys did a great job of creating your own arguments. You all wrote wonderful speeches with great arguments, but a lot of you failed to knock the enemy's one down. So you stood up there and you read your pre-prepared speech and did a great job, but there was very little rebutting where you actually knocked the other side down. So remember, to win a battle, it's not enough to just say a good argument yourself. You need to not just prove that you're right, but you need to prove why the other side is wrong. And that's why rebuttals are so important. Aside from the first speaker in a debate, everyone else in the team needs to do rebuttals. So how do we structure a rebuttal? Remember the 3 steps. 1, take aim by pointing out what the other team said that you're going to rebut. 2, shoot it down by explaining why it's wrong. Then 3, point out what you did to the audience by saying, and that's why, and you reiterate your point. So a lot of you that did actually do rebuttals did explain why the other team's wrong, but you forgot to take aim. Taking aim is really important because it actually tells the audience, oh, there's a rebuttal coming. If you don't do that, sometimes we can actually tell that you did a rebuttal. So take aim, shoot it down, then point it out to the audience. And here's the example. Take aim. The affirmative team seems to be under the impression that rapid lunches are cheaper. Too bad they can't do simple maths. So obviously if I hear that in a debate, I go, oh, they've got a rebuttal coming to that point. Another thing you can do is actually say the second speaker of the affirmative team said blah, blah, blah. Too bad she can't do simple maths. Okay, so being really specific about exactly what point you are rebutting. Then fire. In my fire, I give a lot of examples why they're wrong. A big bag, 150 gram bag of Countdown branded potato chips costs just $1.50. That's enough to make 10 packs, so it averages out at 15 cents a pack. Meanwhile, a 10 pack of individually packaged chips costs $3, 30 cents each. What's cheaper, 15 cents or 30 cents? You know, I know, but the affirmative team can't seem to work it out. Yes, you have to buy a box to put them in, but that costs a couple of bucks and then you have it for years. Then you can point out what you just did. So as you can see, their point, or the second speaker's point, that wrapless lunches are too expensive is completely invalid. Okay, so take aim. Oh, there's a rebuttal coming. I'm telling you what I'm going to rebut. Then you do the rebuttal. And then at the end you go, see what I just did there? Okay, small versus big. Remember the difference between the 2 types of rebuttals. For a small rebuttal, you're just rebutting one little point, one fact. The second speaker said that 5,000 people a year bring wrapless lunches, but it's actually only 2,000 a year, so they're just exaggerating. That kind of thing. If you rebut small, you need to do lots of rebuttals. Thinking of firing lots of little bullets. It's a really effective thing to do if you can come up with a whole heap of little rebuttals. If you find that hard, another thing to do is do one big rebuttal, which is where you rebut their main point and completely destroy it. So that's what I did in the previous slide. You refute their main idea. So this is something that's a lot more broader. And the key with this one is you can't just use one sentence. You have to offer evidence and you really have to do it very strongly and dwell on it and give detail. But if you do that effectively, you can actually completely knock down the argument, and that's a great way to win your debate. Okay, be prepared. So you can't always predict what the other team is going to say, which is why it's important to come up with rebuttals on the spot. However, you can often predict some of their main points, so make sure that when you're preparing for a debate, it's a good idea to guess at what they're going to say and prepare some rebuttals. That being said, still be prepared to improvise on the fly. So an issue that a lot of you had is when you didn't have a rebuttal pre-written, then you didn't do a rebuttal in your speech. So remember that you need to always be listening to what the other side is saying and coming up with lots of rebuttals on the fly. Okay, now it's your turn. What I'm going to do is give you 3 points that I heard in the mock debates, and then you're going to pause the video after each one and write a little rebuttal for it. Just try to spend just a couple minutes on each one. The first one, school trips should be free because the school has lots of funding from the government, and they can just pay for the trips. Pause the video here and write a rebuttal. Okay, next one. The students shouldn't get part-time jobs because they can just get money from their parents and focus on their learning. Pause the video and write a rebuttal. And finally, parents should have to pass a test to have children. Those who are too busy, e.g. Jacinda Ardern, to look after their own kids can hire a nanny to look after them. That way, even if they're busy, they can still pass a test. Pause and write a rebuttal. And you're done.